Hello, everybody. Good morning. Can you see me and hear me? Oh no, where did that go? If everybody could just take a minute out of your day to send some love and prayers to Linda Sue, I would appreciate that. Hello, hello. Okay, thank you, Jill. All right, let me go back up a little bit. Okay, we're going to get right into this because I don't know how long my throat is going to last. I'm still a little sick somehow. I don't know how. Linda Sue, Fighter by Gym Class Heroes just came on after I said everyone send you love and prayers. The Fighter by Gym Class Heroes. Okay. Message and token for the week. It's a double heart. Number 14. Mirror image. X marks the spot. X marks the spot. You're moving forward from some kind of battle this week. Either you're figuring out a solution or you're like shifting perspective to then figure out a solution. But it's going to be very clear about which way to move forward after the end of this week. My niece is going to England Thursday for 2 weeks. Will she be okay? Okay, yes, but there may be some kind of change in plans. To me, this kind of feels like travel. I feel like there may be something in the planning that gets redirected. I don't know if it's like something's closed, I can't go, or transportation gets messed up or something like that. Everything will be okay, but there may be a little hurdle to overcome. What month will I hear back from prison service? Yeah. Oh. Maybe January. Maybe January. Maybe makes me feel like before January. Why is that maybe card showing up? It's possible you may hear something from a different place before you hear from that place. So it may be that that's not coming in quick enough if it's by January, or it may be that something else you applied for also comes in before that does. Any messages from Daisy for this week? A need to shift perspective. So this is the after tarot, so he's hanging on the cliff. It's like you have more options than you're recognizing, but there's a need to get out of your head and into your feelings. The feelings are going to help you see where the perspective shift is needed. Anything to know about work or business? Higher pay at work or making sales with business soon? Feels like there's more energy going out than what is coming in, and something is getting a slow start here. Is there a way that you could shift? What is this? Almost like something's holding back a connection that could help move you forward when it comes to business. But it's almost like the connection is hidden in plain sight, is kind of what I'm getting with that. It feels like there's a connection that would help you not expend so much energy to get a reward. So I don't know if that's like social media or like a physical or for some reason, I'm feeling like there's someone that could connect you to an audience that would help you Work smarter, not harder, is how I want to word that. Will R complete nursing school and time frame for her and G's relationship to end? There's something up with nursing school. It's almost like there is a turnaround, or there's something that is still in the process of being uncovered. So it may be that there's a shift in what she wants to do, or there may be some kind of roadblock that has to be worked through in order for the completion. So I feel like, will R complete nursing school? I feel like that's kind of up in the air, especially when it comes to the timing of it. Almost like it wouldn't be something like flunking out. It would be something like I change my mind and I want to do something differently. I feel like that's the part that's up in the air. Time frame for their relationship to end. Wasting your time. It came out in reverse. I'm getting sick of wasting my time. Maybe it feels like that's kind of the timing of that is up in the air. It's waiting for one person to see the truth about them wasting their time. So almost like it needs to build up a certain level of tension in order for someone to be willing to walk away. In readings with you and Tay, were you talking about the same future partner? No, one of them is some kind of false start, or like transitionary. So like the partner before the partner is one of them, if that makes sense. Message and a token. I don't know what that is. Little wavy things. 102. 102. Oh, it's the other one. Okay. 102. Little waves. Oh, a release of emotions. Something's coming to the surface that's going to be triggering, but also will be healing at the same time. Almost like something that you had to keep working past, that you weren't able to address all the way, is coming back to be addressed so that you can release it. So it's not punishment, it's freedom of the weight of the wound. Let me fix this. Will we be able to move soon? We've experienced many obstacles. Moving, yes. Soon, no. There's something that needs to be chosen differently. So I don't know if that's like the location you're looking. I don't know if that's justice. Something needs to be chosen differently to restore balance. So something in the planning or the strategy needs to shift before that happens. This is a card about travel. So yes, you'll be moving, but not in the time frame that you'd like. There's still something blocking it. Needing to look at like anything that's a moving factor that could be different, whether that be location, whether that be the type of residence. Shift perspective on something. There's something available sooner rather than later, but right now the choice needs to be made to shift that. Messages from spirit guides and a token. Oh, wait, I have the wrong banner on. 1 second. There we go. A little dog with number 31. Whoever it is that you're questioning if you can trust them, you can. The dog would be representing loyalty here. And the Knight of Cups and Ace of Cups is like, allow yourself to be loved right now. Allow yourself to receive right now. There's this feeling of, is this person really on my team, or is this person kind of out to get me? It feels like in this case, there's trust that could be built there. Oh no, this moved me. 1 second. Any ancestral advice for my family on how to move forward in the situation with my Aunt M? There's a need to hold back right now on communication. There's a need to not have the last word. There's a need to allow silence or space to unfold before some kind of communication. Almost like in order to get what you want, you need to hold back initially and let the other person kind of, I don't know if it's like trip over their own words or a feeling of waiting for them to make a move for you to see what move is best for you to make. There's a need to like hold back on some kind of communication, or if it's a situation where your aunt is waiting for external communication, it may be that there's a need for a second opinion, depending on which way that goes. When do you see me getting a job? Oh. It feels like there's something coming that you might not ideally want to take, but it's more of like a transitionary period. Nothing is missed. Take your time. I have summer in reverse. So before summer, it feels like there's a period of time of waiting, and then almost this feeling of, okay, I'm going to take this because nothing else is coming. I take this as I continue to look for something else. I would say by the end of the year seems likely, beginning of summer at the latest. But it doesn't feel like it's going to be that long because it feels like you take something in like a transitionary, I'll take this till I find something else type thing. Will I complete all pre to go or next Monday? Will I complete all pre to go or next Monday? Wondering if you mean for next Monday. Will I complete all pre to go? It ends up working out, but there's some kind of hurdle. It's like you get most of what you need, but there's something that's still, I don't know if it's paperwork or I don't know if it's like part of testing or something like that. It's like you move forward, but there's something else additional that's needed. Will it happen by next Monday? Is there an option where like we don't have everything we need, but we still move forward? It kind of feels like that. Or like we move forward knowing that there's more needed, if that makes sense. Do the port issues connect to the trafficking and cleanup of the bad actors? Oh. Do the port issues connect to the trafficking and cleanup of bad actors? Is it possible that it's covering up for something? Look over here, not over here. Focus on this while I cover up this type energy in order to buy myself time and not be exposed? I would say yes. Message from Sean, Dad, or Gran. It feels like this is more geared towards someone around you. It feels like you're taking on the stress of someone around you, but there is a clearing, or there is this feeling of like that person starting to be okay or put down a burden, which allows you to kind of de-stress yourself a little bit. It feels like this is a long time coming. But it also feels like whatever this was, in taking on someone else's stress, you learned something very important about yourself, and taking that forward with you is going to be key in the next chapter. So like your ability to handle confrontation, or your ability to kind of stay clear-minded or cool-headed, it's going to be needed in the next chapter. And the next chapter is coming because the person who was stressing you is going to start to de-stress or restabilize. Any messages from my guides? There's a need to redirect your energy here. It feels like when it comes to socialization, either you've been in hermit mode or you've been very social, and it feels like the opposite is going to start to unfold for your benefit because there's a rededication of your energy that's coming in. You're seeing the opportunity that you didn't have before to pour into yourself and get some kind of change from it, a positive, forward moving change. Any guidance for the week? I kind of want to word this as getting a hard answer that feels stressful, but is an answer. So, like, this isn't necessarily what I wanted to hear, but now at least I know how to move forward from feeling stuck so I can rebalance out a situation. It feels like you're going to get an answer that helps you see what's about to come next. Let me go to this list. New member, thank you. Ooh. The degree to which a person can grow is directly proportional to the amount of truth they can accept about themselves without running away. It feels like this is not you, though. It feels like you've accepted hard truths and you're no longer tolerating people who are running from themselves. Will I receive any money from the insurance company and when? Will you receive any money? It feels like yes, but not exactly what you'd hope for. I don't know if that means you're going to have to file an appeal to get what you feel like you should be getting, or if there's no option for an appeal and you have to settle with less than what you ideally would like. I have tomorrow. It feels like sooner than you think. Wait, tomorrow, wait. It feels like there's some kind of appeal. I don't know if that means you don't get it at first and you have to appeal it, or you're not happy with the initial amount and you have to appeal it. I would say you're going to have some kind of answer within the next 5 months. Message from spirit guides. Neighbors are out of control. Had to get the priest to my home. It feels like you're moving in the right direction, but there's another action that's going to need to be taken here. It feels like you've bought a little bit of peace, but the situation is going to loop back around and you're going to have to take either more drastic action or different action than you've taken before. It doesn't feel like anything to be worried about, but more of an annoyance is kind of how I'm seeing it. Like looping back around to annoying you worse. Is Anthem Tax scamming us? I don't know if I'd use the word scamming, but you're on to something. It feels like there's almost like a bad business practice or a bad way of trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes or trying to not do what's right. It doesn't feel like an outright scam. It feels more like trying to pull the wool over your eyes to not give you what you need, if that makes sense. Messages from my friend Alice. It feels like there's something you're slightly putting off into the future that you're being guided to address now. Um, Almost like if you don't realize how much the stress is affecting you of not making a decision, and upon making a decision, the stress will alleviate and you're going to start to feel like you can rebalance whatever that is that the stress is taking away from. So I guess I'd word it as like make that choice sooner rather than later and take action towards it. I'm going to do 2 more and then back to the other list. Message from my guides and a song. Human by Christina Perri. I'm only human. And hold on 1 second. I'm only human. I can turn it on, be a good machine. I can hold the weight of the worlds if that's what you need. You're going to come across an opportunity to see a past version of yourself through someone else, and it's going to be very healing for you. Almost like if you witness a version of yourself that existed 10 years ago and you realize that there's this perspective shift on exactly how much you've overcome. This is linking to some kind of fresh start, though. So it's like you see that, you witness that, you experience that, and then right around the corner is some massive change. You needed to see that so you could realize how much you've been through and made it through before that change occurs. Go back to this list. Guidance, I did that one. Should I attempt to reopen my workers' comp claim, or will it be more aggravation than it's worth? I feel like if you're going to reopen it, it would be beneficial to have someone, I don't know if like do it for you or like represent you or something like that. It feels like not to do it in the same way that you did it the first time. So if there's an option to have like representation or outside assistance, then I would say to go for it. But I feel like approaching it again in the same way you approached it last time, it's going to be like wading through quicksand. Like you're going to feel like you're not making progress. What does my youngest son think of me, and will I ever get to meet my 3 grandkids? There's this feeling of like either say like from his perspective, I feel like you're telling me what I want to hear, or I feel like you're not telling me what would be difficult for me to hear. Some bit of that mixed in with like an uncomfortable truth that's being avoided. It feels like that's the best way to word it. It feels like from his perspective, there's an uncomfortable truth that's being avoided. Will you ever get to meet your 3 grandkids? It feels like something major needs to change. Unhappy family and kind of being left in the dust or left in the dark here. It feels like something major needs to change, and it feels like it has something to do with someone who's connected to him, like a partner or someone who's in his ear. Is heart surgery needed and safe for me? Ooh. It is, I feel like obviously talk to your medical professionals, but it feels like, is there a second less invasive option that you could try and see, okay, I'm going to try this for X amount of time, see if it makes the difference? or try this for X amount of time so that the surgery, when it does come, is not as invasive. It feels like to just go forward with it, it's going to take longer of a healing process than what you would like or what you feel like you can handle. So I would say, and I have Medication by The Collection just starting to play. I deserve to be well is what it says. I was scared of what it meant if I needed medicine. Is there like a second option that could help alleviate the intensity of that main option? Any messages? There's a need to give yourself the closure that you sought from someone else. It feels like a conversation that you're waiting or hoping for is not coming to fruition, but that's on purpose so that you can give yourself that closure and allow yourself to move forward without waiting for someone else's permission to do so. Any messages about my health? Any messages from guides about my health? I kind of want to say that, like, a second opinion about something would be beneficial, or a different modality of healing. So, like, traditional medicine versus holistic medicine, or like some kind of clearing away of something. And it feels like sooner rather than later is when this should be looked into. Almost like someone didn't give you the full scope of what your uh potential healing could be, or there's something being slightly misrepresented. I feel like there's a need for a second opinion on something. Message from my guardian angel and a song from my parents. Where's my playlist? My Wish by Rascal Flatts. And it has the number 20 on it. When's the 20th? Oh, today's the 1st. 1, 2, 3. So in 3 weekends from now. In 3 weekends from now, the mountain that you feel like you're climbing right now, you're going to be high enough on it to have a different perspective that's going to be feeling like a 10 of Wands reversed, like putting down a heavy burden. The message feels to be the next 3 weeks are going to be very difficult, but if you can just keep pushing forward, you're going to get the perspective shift that you need that will help you flip this Empress back upright. So it's like stay very mindful of the way that your mind could be working against you because of stress, and know that the clearing is coming. Feels like by the 20th of this month, which is not this Sunday, but 2 Sundays after that, you're going to have some kind of major perspective shift that reignites hope. Will the Texas Gulf Coast have a major weather event in the month of October? Will the Texas Gulf Coast. This is like a delay in the restoration of the power, or an overwhelm of a system. I don't know if that's like a grid system. And oh wait, Texas, you guys are on your own power grid thing. I would say yes, and something specifically about the power being out for longer than expected, or longer than like quoted. Will my trip go well? Okay, so I looked at this and I said, is it exhaustion? Like, is it like jet lag or travel exhaustion? And I got victory. It feels like the trip itself will go well, but something leaves you feeling drained or something leaves you feeling like longing for either more time or home or something like that. So, yes and no. It almost feels like you have a revelation during that puts you deep in your mind and you're almost like in this I'm planning to hit the ground running on something when I get back is how I feel to word that. Like I'm very in my mind because when I get back, I want to hit the ground running on this. Messages from my mom. Sometimes the answers that we seek come through other people, whether that be directly or indirectly. So there's a need to be very present in certain conversations so that you can get clarity on what needs to shift in order to regain your footing. So I don't know if that's like getting inspiration from other people, or I don't know if that's you're having a thought and then you're having a conversation and the conversation answers the thought. But there's a need to be very present in conversations because that's where your answer is going to come from. What song is that? It's Not Unusual by Tom Jones. It's not unusual. Almost like your mom is going to speak to you through another person and answer something that you and your mom have been discussing, but using another person as like the caveat of it. All right, let me go. I'm going to close super chats because I don't know how long my throat is going to last. The last one is going to be Jody Marie about the star seed. It's a green one. Where am I? How does Boomer feel about me? Am I his fave? Let me switch this back. Wondering if Boomer's an animal. This kind of feels like you taking care of me more than you're taking care of you, or you worrying about me in order to avoid something that you need to unpack for you, if that makes sense. I'd word this as likely his fave, yes, but you need to start to take care of you as well as you take care of me, seems to be the message. Message from A. You're reading correctly why what you are reading correctly why what is not being said is not being said. So there's some kind of avoidance of a conversation and you're like, I wonder if this is why. You're reading that correctly. Someone's lacking the commitment to have follow through, and you understand why. Do I keep trying to get orthotics? What is block? I would say yes, to keep trying. What is the block? Is there a different method of communication or a different route to take to bypass waiting for someone else to communicate with someone else? So like I'm waiting for the doctor to communicate with the insurance company, for example. Is there a way I could go direct instead of having a middleman? Seems to be It feels like a situation to take back your power and not take no for an answer. Finding a way around the block. Kieran is sitting his practical driving test this Friday. Will he pass? What was that? So typically they're all up fighting in this one, but they're all sitting down. I feel like before I said to you there's something specific that he needed to work on. This would be that he's worked on it. The likelihood of him passing is good. For some reason, I want to say be mindful of a heavy foot. Or like taking off quickly. Like there's one thing to just still be mindful of, but it feels like, yes, he'll pass. Oh, thank you. Let me pull, where did I put that? One of these for you. The past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. See how it's like a little time machine thing? There's a lesson from the past that's wrapping up, and it's not that you're witnessing a pattern from the past that you're breaking out of. And it's not that it's resurfacing as punishment, it's resurfacing as like you freeing yourself from it. No, 2 more and then back to the other list. What does BH think of me right now? I'm wondering about our relationship. It feels like there's something from the past that this person is pondering or sitting on or wondering if they should bring up. Almost like in order to move forward with you, I need to clear away this energy, but I don't know how to necessarily bring it up. I'm trying to figure out the way to trust myself to do that. I kind of want to say like this person's trying to figure out how to save the relationship or how to prolong the peace in the relationship. Why does my mom not care? Is it my fault? Am I wrong to walk away? No, it's not you. This is a her problem. The world did me wrong, and I'm making that your problem because I don't know how to reflect. I don't know how to reflect and unpack the wounds, so I'm making decisions based on those wounds. Are you wrong to walk away? No, you need to protect your peace here. You've offered solutions or resolution, or like you've offered love, or you've offered like, hey, I don't think you know how to love me right, but I'm still going to open the door. And it feels like each time you just get hurt. I feel like pulling back your energy is protecting your peace in this case because it's not a you thing. One second. Let's see what the wound is here. It's not a you thing. Alignment blockage, road closed. There's something deep that she's avoiding, and you are reminding her of what she's avoiding, so she must avoid you. All right, last one, then back to the other list. Is Dr. B the right choice for ankle surgery? Yes. The one moving forward into calmer waters. The one that will help you move forward into calmer waters. If you see nonsense, my kitten has walked across or flopped himself on the keyboard. That's funny. I can't find. Why my sister R doesn't like me. It's not necessarily you, it's your sister R doesn't like herself. Um, and there's something about the way that people view you or the way that people take to you or the way that people open up to you or something like that that's like, I wish I had that, but you have it, so I don't like you because you have it and I don't. Almost like the way you're perceived by others. And it feels like specifically in the family unit or people who are close to the family. Will I hear back from call, name of company about a job? Well, yes, you'll hear from them, but I almost wonder if this is you hearing from them because you end up following up because you haven't heard from them. Um, it feels like they're waiting on something before making a decision to move forward. I don't know if that's I'm waiting to hear back from this person, and if that doesn't go through, then I'll reach out to another. I feel like there's a need for a follow-up though, or like following through on a follow-up. I don't know if that's like going into the place or additional follow-ups after the first follow-up. It almost feels like they are dragging their feet for a reason that was unexpected when they put out the position. Will the upcoming trial dealing with work end in our favor? I feel like there's something unexpected, sorry, like that phone call. Something unexpected that's going to interrupt forward progress. Almost like it looks like it's going this way, and then I don't know if it's like they realize, okay, I'm kind of losing ground. Let me throw this in and see if it sticks. Um, will it go in your favor though? I feel like there's potential for it to go in your favor, but you're going to need something additional that you don't have yet to provide in the trial. Um, I would say 70% it feels like it's going to go in your favor after a hiccup, 30% that it may not. Will there be significant supply chain issues and shortages due to port strikes that started last night? Oh, I saw that. It's like the first time they striked since like 1970 something, I think. Should we be stocking up more than normal? Will there be significant supply chain issues? It feels like, yes, there will be almost like all at once. Like, okay, everything is business as normal, and then boom, everything is kind of depleted. Where you may have to travel to get things that you need. So, like, this store is short, this store is short. I got to go a little further, type of thing. Should we be stocking up more than normal? Yes. Better safe than sorry. I would say yes. How can I release the negative energy that I have? It's not your negative energy. It's either projected from another person, or it's from like a lack of closure, or you are in your mind thinking about how could this person not see this or do this. It almost kind of feels like an energy of like feeling like you wanted to convince someone to see your worth, and because you weren't able to, now you're being very hard on yourself about it. So it's going back into whatever that situation was and releasing the expectations of, it's not your job to convince someone that you're worthy of love and respect, and if they're not giving that to you, that's not a reflection of your own worth. It feels like needing to work on self concept So I don't know if that's like listening to motivational speeches. It's basically like there's a light switch that right now is in one position. You have to move it into a different position by feeding things into your psyche that are going to counteract the way that someone else made you feel about yourself, but it's not your energy. My father passed away a few weeks ago. Does he have a message for me? I feel like birds are going to be significant for you here. Let me get a song really quick. Humble and Kind by Tim McGraw. It feels like there's something specifically that he wishes he could have wrapped up or said to you more thoroughly, but he's going to find a way to get that message to you. I almost feel like the goodbye was short or unexpected to some degree, either the overall goodbye or like the quickness of it. Almost like whatever it is that was left unsaid, he's going to find a way to bring to you. So look for the signs, look for the synchronicities. He's still very much with you. And it feels like there's some kind of event coming up. And the message is like, don't worry, I'm there. I don't know if this is referring to holidays. I don't know if you're very worried about how you're going to handle the holidays this year or something to that effect, or if it's like an event that happens before then. You're going to be okay. He's going to get messages to you to make you be okay in that moment. How is Connor currently feeling now that I pulled back my energy? I'm trying to not watch you. I feel like this is social media. Either you're talking like to friends or you're saying something on social media or you're not. It's like everything you do or don't do, I'm taking personally, thinking that it's directly about me, even when it's not. Because I'm trying to find a way to get back in. But it feels like this is ego. Like I'm trying to find a way to see if I can get back in, to see if I still have the ability to do that, more so than it being about you. It's almost like this person's in this, I'm avoiding my emotions by focusing on how my ego feels about it. Message from a loved one and a song. Never Alone by Jim Brickman and Lady A. It feels like you were waiting for either a confirmation or a sign from someone on the other side. And not that like you missed it, but it presented itself in a different way than you expect it, but that was for a purpose. So it's like from their perspective, I don't want you to think that I did not show up. I did show up. I just showed up in a different way, but you're going to understand that looking back. Bag of money. The way that this person is conveying a message is to show you your own worth. Almost like you deserve more than the little sign that you were asking for. You deserve an extra piece of comfort, which is being provided for you. It's just not showing up in the way that you wanted it to or expected it to. Let me go back to this list. A message each for my two daughters, Lauren and Amelia. Lauren, 11. I kind of want to word this as some kind of like growing pains. Like there may be a little bit of extra support that Lauren needs right now, either from things that she wants to talk about and doesn't know how to talk about, or things that she's like, I don't know if it's like school or like the feeling of like I want to talk through this, but I don't know how to start type thing. So kind of just, I guess I'd say her needing a reminder how supported she is. Not that you're not already doing that, but like it feels like maybe verbally needing that. Amelia 16. Oh. It feels like Lauren wants to be closer to Amelia, or there's advice from Amelia that would help Lauren. I'm wondering if you could do something with both of them that would allow them to kind of reconnect or connect in a different way. For some reason, I'm getting reference to like bowling. I don't know if that's literal or just like a fun outing like that. It feels like that would be very beneficial right now for both of them. It feels like it has something to do with school. Like either school is stressing me out or people at school are stressing me out or something to that effect. My son and his girlfriend are going to Colorado next week. Will they be okay? Yes, just something may take a little longer, whether that be travel or like checking into the hotel or something like that. Like something, there's going to be a delay in something, but everything is going to be fine. Will SH find me the right home in 3 months? That is the home of environment upright. 3 months, October, November, December. So by the end of the year. I feel like this person can find it for you, but I don't know if the timing of 3 months is accurate. Almost like the approach to something is needing to be changed, but you need to have the first approach not work to change the approach. I feel like it's more likely 4 to 7 months than 3. Will you say a prayer or good vibes for my baby nephew and his parents? Absolutely. If everyone could. What deck can I use for that? If everyone could take a minute to send baby nephew some love and prayers. In the darkness of the cosmic void, the soul seed can crack open and take root. This cannot happen in the light where all is seen and understood. It must happen under the cover of darkness. This is the way of nature, and it must be honored. Clear the pain from your heart. Your tears are the sacred waters that will ensure your soul shall thrive. A new phase is imminent. All the love that everyone's pouring into this baby is not in vain. It is making a difference energetically for him. Am I going to California to get my stuff from my exes on the 18th? I'm taking my ex-husband 5 hours down, 5 hours back to load all my stuff. Will our trip be safe? I am going to California to get my stuff back on the 18th. Will your trip be safe? Yes, and it feels like you're going to be doing a lot of reflecting. I don't know if that's like specifically on the way back, like, okay, now I got this over with. I can finally process how I feel, but it feels like it's going to be very healing for you. I'm taking my ex-husband. I don't know if it's like you're reflecting in silence. It doesn't necessarily feel like you're talking back and forth with him on the way back. It almost feels like you may be a little annoyed at something regarding him, but overall, it feels like everything will be fine and safe. All right. Where did I go? 1 second. Connor, I did that one. That one. Any messages about Aunt JS abortion? I feel like this person's dealing with hidden regret. Almost like I did what I felt like I had to do, but now that I did it, I'm struggling with emotions that I didn't necessarily expect to have because I made the decision that I felt like I had to make. So I felt like making that decision would alleviate the negative feelings, but I'm still dealing with the negative feelings. Yeah, the sun in reverse. I don't think that it's I regret the decision. I think it's just I'm dealing with emotions that I didn't expect to have because I made the decision that I felt like I needed to make. Let me change this playlist. 1 second. Okay. Sorry, I'm so sniffly. Somehow still have a sinus thing. Where am I? I agree. Thank you, Linda. So this is a remarkable community. Do you see me getting a different job within 2 years? I feel like it's I feel like it's there if you decide that you want it. But I feel like what is making you hesitate from making the jump is job security. So I don't know if it's how long you've been at your current position. I don't know if it's that your role is like needed in your current position. There's something about like weighing out, okay, now that this opportunity is available to me, am I willing to risk the job security or roll the dice on job security? I feel like it's going to be something that's presented to you as an option, but it's going to be up to you to decide if one outweighs the risk of leaving the other. Any words for my mama? She needs a sign or anything from her husband. Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison. Blowin' Your Mind is on the cover. Just because you can't always hear me communicating with you doesn't mean that I'm not there. It's kind of giving like you can't get rid of me that easily type energy. I'm not gone. I'm not walking away from you. What's the sign here? It's almost a message of like emotions were repressed and he's giving them an opportunity to flow before he starts to really show up more. Almost like she feels like he's very far right now, but he's not. He's there. He's just giving her the space to process what had previously been repressed. The infinity symbol with a road. I'm quite literally always there with you. I feel like in the car, if she could make a playlist that, or you could make her a playlist that as she's driving, it's going to help confirm or complete the thoughts she's having with a certain playlist. Almost like him helping her find a way for him to communicate with her in a direct way. It feels like she needs direct communication right now. There's something about a bench. I'm being shown like a bench at like a water's edge So I don't know if it's her driving to that bench or that's maybe somewhere they were together that he's trying to reignite that feeling of comfort. But there's a need to allow a different modality of communication, but it feels like it's something she needs help with. So if you could make a playlist for her or that spot with the bench, if you give him the opportunity to step forward in a way that she'll understand, he'll be able to step forward for her. We have been together in dreams, and there's an open book there. There's a lesson in her favorite book, or there's a healing perspective in her favorite book, or a book that she's read recently. Will my poetry book be a success? Victory celebration, you igniting the victory celebration, but there is a hurdle to overcome here. Oh, Chapel of Love, Jacqueline. Chapel of Love by Dixie Cups just came on. I wonder if it's marketing or I wonder if it's getting the community involved. So yes, there's high potential for this to be a success based off of the book, based off of what you've put into the book. The hurdle seems to come in marketing the book. So if you can overcome that obstacle, yes, it will be the success that you want it to be. Message from my guides. Whatever it is that's been weighing you down, you're going to start moving past it, but there's a period of rest that's needed first. It's like you need to give yourself the space to process what had been building up. The pain or the frustration is ushering in a new beginning, but you need to give yourself the space to unpack it so that you're not bringing that baggage into the next chapter. Oh, let me go to this list. Let me get one of these for this. Sometimes we have to give it a go without a solid support system. Just you, the universe, and a vision only you can see. That's still enough. Carry on. And there's a wolf on the card. It's like you're being guided to go out there and take it. Go out there and get it. Go out there and step beyond what is your previous comfort zone. It feels like there's a need to bring wolf type energy into your marketing strategy when it comes to the book. Like unapologetic, kind of aggressive, on the prowl, finding the right community to pick up the message type of thing. Will the sabotagers fall one by one? What's that quote? No, you know what this is? This is you can't sit with us type energy. So it went from you can't sit with us to putting down the heavy burden because they all start turning on one another. So yes, the first will be last and the last will be first. Those who tried to push other people out or put other people down are going to be put in a position where they start to turn on one another, and then what they wished for others starts to happen to them. 14-year-old Melanie Melanson went missing in 1989, and the last known to be with her are pointing the finger at each other. Will her remains ever be found, and will her killers face jail time? There's something still to be revealed here. Mental health. Law enforcement. There is evidence that if brought forward, the two, one of them would have to turn on the other to save themselves. It's a matter of finding that evidence. What is the evidence? Accident in reverse on purpose. Oh, it feels like there's a third party that knows what happened, and if that third party was presented with some kind of pressure, they would give information that would cause one to turn on the other. It feels like without that happening, it's going to be very difficult for a solution to result in jail time. Excuse me. I'm kind of getting like a need for a private investigator type vibes to put pressure on that third party that knows something. Will old N fall down the stairs? Excuse me. Lack of travel. Oh, one way. Well, one way accidental travel. Will old N fall down the stairs? Kind of getting like the energy of like I start to and I catch myself, or yes and nothing really gets messed up because of it. A weird answer. It's kind of giving like I learn my lesson and prevent something bad from happening. Should I stop trying to help the local government and walk away? Yes. Freeing yourself from the stress of everything that you give not being taken seriously or the right moves being made with what you're giving. This is taking back your energy. I would say yes. New member, thank you. Oh. If a butterfly is struggling to get out of the cocoon and someone cuts it to help it out, the butterfly dies. You have to let the butterfly struggle because the struggle forces blood into the wings so they can spread them and fly. The same concept is necessary for us to be able to soar. The support you feel like you need right now that you feel like you're not getting is so that you can show up for yourself in a more intense way. Go back to this list. Any message from mom or dad? Dad. There's something you've been dealing with in private that you would never speak about because you wouldn't want like the kudos, or you're not doing it for that reason. But the message is I see you and I see what you've been carrying that you're finally putting down. And I'm very proud of you for doing that. Almost like you've been climbing a mountain that no one else can see, and you're finally to the top where you can hear him and understand that he knows how much it took for you to climb that mountain. It feels like you've been through something very similar as what he's been through. So tree with number 27. It feels like by Christmas time this year, you're going to have the answer that you've been seeking for a good amount of time. Message for how to navigate this eclipse energy. It's a dress and a top hat. Number 6. Dressed for a special occasion, new clothes. Dressed to impress. It feels like this has something to do with pouring yourself into a change when it comes to how you're showing up for your business. Um, almost like you've been showing up as the version of you that's been in preparation, and now the preparation stage is complete, and there's this new boost of like confidence, this new boost of like, I'm no longer holding back. Yeah, strength. I'm no longer holding back from this battle that's been persistent. You're going to get energy out of pouring yourself into something that's fulfilling versus resting. It feels like right now, resting is going to make your mind go on a hamster wheel, but using that energy to transmute is going to help you move forward and show up in the way that you've been trying to show up for some time. Will my new rheumatologist have answers for me on my health issues that my last one couldn't figure out? The delay you've been facing, the fulfillment that you seek, what's in between? A lack of mental clarity. Will he have answers for me that my last one couldn't figure out? This feels more of, I know how to point you in the right direction to get the answers rather than you're getting the answers from me. So it does feel like you're making progress, but not necessarily getting the answers, more of getting the direction on where to get the answers. Any messages from guides? You need to trust your discernment right now. There's something that you're questioning. Is this where the issue's coming from? Is this why I'm not feeling like myself? Am I pouring, what's that? A leaky faucet. Like, it feels like there's a leaky faucet and you're wondering where all the water is going, but it's like you're looking at the leaky faucet and you're like, well, that can't be it. There's a need to trust your discernment right now, because as you do, you start to see what steps to take to move forward. You're reading something correctly, but it's not what you want to hear, I guess is how I'd word that. What does October have in store for me? Clarity about in which way you're holding yourself back. A perspective shift that takes the blindfold off and shows you that there was an option, like you thought you only had one option, but there's actually several options, but you needed to see clearly how you were holding yourself back because of either someone else's projections or someone else's fears. So you're breaking away from holding yourself back because you're putting someone else's energy in the proper category or proper place. Will I find the right job for me this month? This month, no. 10, 9. It feels like by the end of the year, but not this month. You're going to find something that could usher in stability, but it feels like it's going to take a minute to get it up and running. Should I shop for a wig? That's not a dumb question. If you have one in your possession that you like, it will take a lot of the stress off of you wondering what will happen if I have to find this quickly type of thing. I feel like it's better to have one and just have it there. But I also feel like maybe have it somewhere where you don't see it every day. Like, know that you have it, but don't put it right in front of your face that it's a constant reminder type of thing. I feel like it will help you not not be in your head about it. You're like, okay, that topic's covered. I have that. I can worry about something else type of thing. I'm trying to get a song to go with that. 1 second. Lucky Enough by Jez Dior. Allow it to be fun. Like, try to make the best of an otherwise crappy situation. Allow yourself to have like almost like a checklist. Okay, these are the hard things that I have to deal with. The more of these I can check off, the more I can know that I'm handling the things that may be a little bit more difficult down the line. I lost my place. 1 second. I love everyone's support for Linda. That's very refreshing. Thank you. What can you see about the dream I had where a woman told me I would get pregnant with a twin boy and girl? I feel like it's representing your opportunity to take a new path. Almost like the twin element is like you could go this way or you could go that way. The path is being presented to you for a fresh start, rather than literal. Yeah, like you have more options. Like you thought you had one option, there's multiple options. It feels like it's more of what it was symbolic of rather than like literal, at least at this point. Will Ralph get his E2 visa to continue to work in Texas with his brother on their business? Will he get the visa? Something feels to be blocking it. I feel like it's going to at least be 2 attempts to apply. It feels like right now it's a no. But it feels like it's not his fault. Like, how would I word that? Almost like if the people who are issuing these things need to take a temporary break from issuing them in that way or like for that reason. So it feels like it's something that's beyond his control, but that he can go back and revisit after a denial. Message and a song. Black Wave by K Flay. Trying to find the one line in this song. 1 second. How did a girl like me end up in a world so mean? You're recognizing the hard way that you are a mirror for other people. And it feels like this took a lot of rejection. This took a lot of people choosing to not be around you because they weren't ready to face the reflection they were seeing in you or from you. It feels like there's a healing opportunity coming, though, where you're going to recognize that you were the catalyst for someone in a positive way, even if they treated you negatively. And it feels like this is going to be very freeing or like healing or releasing for you. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with the role of being a mirror, and you're stepping into not taking personally that other people may not always be ready to see their reflection in the mirror. Has Anna done voodoo on my daughters? I wouldn't say voodoo in the sense of voodoo, but it seems like, there's, like, an energy of jealousy, there's an energy of, like, I want what I can't have type thing, and I'm willing to be pushy with my words or statements to try and make things look more ideal for me. So with the 10 of swords in reverse, I don't necessarily, if this was upright, I would say yes, but it did show up, so there's something, but not what it seems. It seems more of like maybe gossip, rumors, bad intentions, something like that, rather than outright voodoo. Any past relationship partners still think of me as a mistake for letting me go? You're still taking up space in someone's mind, and that hasn't changed for a bit of time because the love they failed to give you, their witnessing was a reflection of their own inability to give the love and not your worthiness of it. So I would say yes. Um, because the way you showed up for them, they haven't had someone else to show up for them in that way since. Debbie Palmer, I don't know if I see your question. If you retype it, I'll go to the bottom in a few minutes. Mhm. Any message from spirit about DR? Feels like this person's battling with themselves. I'm battling with myself, but I'm making other people feel like I'm battling with them. This person is wrapping up a karmic cycle of lack of vulnerability, and it feels like they're triggered right now because of that. They're being presented with opportunities to heal a pattern that's destructive, but it's also equally triggering. Let me go back to this list. What am I missing? I feel exhausted and emotionally drained. Any message or advice? A gear with number 20. Gear, getting things moving. You know how when you turn a gear, it also turns all the other gears around it? You're doing something or you're focusing on something and it's causing energetic drain of the other gears, if that makes sense. Who else that's not you? Whose battles are you fighting? It feels like you're not recognizing the weight of stress that you're holding for another individual, but it feels like it's not necessarily serving them for you to hold it this much. Almost like you're on a hamster wheel of trying to figure out other people's problems for them because of just the nature of who you are and that you want to help. But in doing so, there's something you're avoiding that needs to be shifted in your reality. So like almost unintentional avoidance of something going on within you because you're busy focusing on helping someone else without really realizing that subconsciously that's your psyche trying to protect itself from dealing with what it has to face for you, if that makes sense. There needs to be some kind of practical solution to reconnect to almost like taking inventory of your life and what gears are not yours to be turning, what gears need to be disconnected from the other gears that are yours. And it also feels like there's a need to kind of re-engage with looking at your day-to-day routine and figure out what is throwing off the balance, because there's something that needs to be shifted within. Stand By You by Rachel Platten. Stand by you. Needing to take focus off of who you're trying to help and allow them to stand in their own situation for a minute while you figure out and take inventory of what could be shifted in your day-to-day routine. Should Angie start her own cleaning business? Yes, there's just one learning curve. I don't know if that's like how to get clients, or I don't know if that's like how to not step on people's toes when you're seeking clients, or like maybe needing to do some kind of specials in order to usher in clients that are right now with other providers. I feel like yes, but there's a slight learning curve that will need to be kind of overcome as things move forward. How to unblock my chakra. Starting from the ground up, we have root chakra with balance. It feels like your root chakra feels almost like a flamingo. You're standing on one foot waiting for the wind to blow you over. And it's because you don't have the tools, or you were not given the tools to process a wound that's been a long time coming, whether that's a mother wound, an abandonment wound, a lack of nurturing wound. You need to create the tools to process the emotions that the lack of those tools caused you to avoid. Like quite literally just diving into shadow work, the yin yang, seeing the good and the bad and the bad and the good. The only way out is through. I almost feel like if you write a letter to the wound, like to the blockage, to whatever keeps you from feeling unworthy or undeserving of the healing, because it feels like it goes back to that, like almost like your healing would paint someone else in a bad light. So you've been avoiding that to some extent. So needing to face that from a different perspective. I'm going to do two more and then back to the other list. Was Alice saying to move soon to reduce stress? Not that that wouldn't be a stress reducer, but I don't think that that was what she was referring to. It's a different imbalance that you've been hesitating to face head on that would provide mental clarity long term. Oh no. Message, I did that one. Who was I in my past life? How did I pass? Psychic, high priestess. Current lifetime. Unrequited love, romance. All the way over there. 1 second. Artist. This is kind of giving dying of a broken heart. Almost like you were very connected to self, very spiritual. it feels like you loved really big, and when you lost someone, you were soon to go after. Um, Almost like you were someone who made purpose out of your pain, but there was a pain that broke your heart that kind of signaled the end. It feels like you also love that way in this lifetime, but it scares you. Like your ability to love that big scares you, and it's because there's still that memory ingrained of like a broken heart being maybe what caused other health issues, or maybe caused you to stop taking care of yourself. Maybe it was like the end of a long life where, okay, I now have a broken heart, I'm not caring for myself properly, and that ends up being how I pass. Um, yes, please keep the victims of the latest storms in your thoughts and prayers. Some places got hit really bad, like the North Carolina, that was unexpected. That's scary. Um, why am I not sleeping great at the moment? What? It feels like sleep anxiety. Sleep anxiety from something that you're waiting to surface. I'm expecting the worst, or I'm expecting an issue, and it's causing me to cycle through other thoughts on like a racetrack. So almost like you feel like there's something unfinished during the day that could prevent an issue, and it's causing you to not sleep well because you're having that sleep anxiety of, oh, I got to do this, or I got to figure this out before you go to sleep. Oh my goodness, I'm only at the 11 o'clock hour. Will I ever be financially stable or always week to week? This would be the money wound. This would be getting the support to break through the money wound. And this would be things gradually flowing in a better direction. I feel like needing to. Oh, King and Queen of Cups. Needing to balance out the masculine feminine energies around the money wound. So with the masculine, it's action that can be taken, and with the feminine, it's the self-worth and self-concept. So it's possible, but it's going to take that shadow work to show you where there's opportunities to move forward. Any messages from my mom? From my mom. Heaven's Not Too Far by We3. There's something that you kind of feel like keeps poking at you or keeps calling to you, and it's coming from her. Almost like from her perspective, I can see how this would help you in a way that you're not seeing yet, so I keep bringing it to your attention. Almost like how you know how you say something and then the iPhone shows you ads for it. It feels like that. She's trying to bring that kind of effect to you so that you either learn something or change something or engage with something that you're not right now that would be more healing than you initially would expect. Stop second guessing and wondering what if you made the right decision. In honor of spooky season, I keep getting a message on my spirit box that someone is buried somewhere in my yard. Is there any truth to that? It feels like something happened in your yard, but I'm not getting someone still being there. Um, Someone needed to have control over something that happened publicly in the yard. And in order to prevent secrets from coming out, something occurred. Conspiracy theory meeting. Something happened, but they're not still there. It's like you're picking up on the energy of something that transpired so that someone could keep their secrets a secret. Like not you or your family, something that happened before. What does Bo, my dog, need health-wise? Can't afford a vet at the moment and something seems very wrong. Feels like some kind of medication or some kind of treatment to slow something down or re-regulate something. Re-regulate, is that a word? To regulate something. Unstable, extra. To re-regulate something, to get something flowing. Spasmodic actions. Taking something to re-regulate something, spasmodic actions. Could it be seizures? Success and victory, the wish card. I feel like you're gonna have to figure out a way to take him. It almost feels like to prevent something from like a burst of energy or short circuit or something like that. Almost like if there's a knot and you release the knot, but not like literal. Small money increase. I'm almost wondering if there's like a vet that may be able to put you on a different payment plan or something like that. It feels like he's going to need to go. You may have a little time, but it feels like whatever this is isn't going to be resolved without him getting something from a health professional. Song for the day. The Reckoning by Mothika. You're properly using your discernment now. Oh, let me go back to this list for a minute. On and off relationship was very sneaky. Woman ghosted me 7 months ago. She is still pulling on my energy so bad. And comics to my dreams. Don't know what I'm. Yeah, she doesn't want to leave you alone. What may make her leave you alone is when there's someone else. I don't know if that's her end or your end. It feels like it's her end. Almost like she may be the kind of person who needs someone there to validate that she's worthy or to focus on, so she's not focusing on herself. It feels like it's likely to continue this way until she finds someone else to replace you. I know that's probably not what you wanted to hear. Or if there's a way to have her see you with another person, that may be something that pulls her energy back, even if it's just a friend that maybe you could make to look like it was possibly something more. It's like she needs to feel like there's someone else involved on one of the ends, your end or her end, to start to pull back her energy. She's like clawing stuck. I would like to know how Milking Sea feels about me. I see your value, but I'm confused. There's a feeling of not wanting to repeat something that this person dealt with in the past. So I'm trying to figure out if you are a repeat of a lesson that I've had in the past or not. I have LASIK eye evaluation coming up soon. Will I get the okay for the LASIK surgery? I don't know if this is saying you may be advised that it might not be your best option. It doesn't feel like an outright no, but it feels like there's something up. I don't know if it's like on the funding end of it, on the insurance end of it, on the recommendation end of it, like, okay, we can do this, but maybe this isn't what's best for you type of thing. There's something weird about it. Will you be able to get it done if you decide that you want to? I feel like there's you may be advised against it, or it may be an insurance issue. Any financial messages from guides during what feels like a crisis? It's always darkest before the dawn. Is there someone that could help you get your foot in a door that would help lead to a solution? There's a need to alleviate something that you're spending on. I don't know if it's like being able to find cheaper housing or being able to refinance something. It's almost like needing to shift temporarily, chipping away at alleviating some part of a stress debt. So I don't know if that's like debt consolidation or something to that effect. It feels like needing to kind of scoop up a bunch of things and put it into one category so there's less to worry about. The worst case scenario is going to be avoided, though. It feels like there's something you're fearing losing, and you're not going to lose that, but there's a need to take action and get your foot in the door to help alleviate some part of the debt that's stressing you out. I keep going back to, like, you know how you can apply for different like debt alleviation or like tax relief type things. It feels like there's something like that that could be helpful based off of where you are financially right now. So maybe that could be like state um grants or something like that. Will Ray move home from Tennessee and when? feel like he's waiting to lose something. Whether that be like a job that's wrapping up, a relationship that's not going well. It's like, I'll do it, but not until I'm sure that this isn't going to work out. Take your time. I feel like it's going to be a minute. Friday would be 5. I feel like within... No, I feel like it by the end of 2025, it feels like would be the soonest. Because waiting for something else to wrap up. Am I a star seed? Yes, no on these, please. Pleiadian. No. Therian. No. Orion. Oop. No. Andromedian. Possible. Possible. Lyrian. No. There's a lesson in something related to Lyrian. And then Arcturian. Arcturian and what was the other one I said? Andromedian? Feel to be the most likely there. But there's a lesson in Lyrian. I don't know what that means. Like there's something you could learn maybe from that dynamic. I have a shadow figure around me when I sleep. My family sees it sometimes. What is it? Someone fighting to help get you closure so that you can wrap up a cycle and feel rebalanced. It feels like this is someone who passed during this lifetime. Yeah, it doesn't feel like an angel or guide. It feels like someone that you knew in the physical that's helping to bring solution or conclusion to a previous situation. Soulmates card. My mind is free. Almost like if someone passed before you got to complete a karmic lesson with them and they're trying to help you complete the karmic lesson so that you don't have to rehash it. And I'm wondering if this is something that's coming in through dreams. Like you're finishing a karmic lesson in your dreams. Excuse me, because of someone being able to help pick up where they left off. Trying My Best by Anton Sebra is the song. Do one more and then hop back to the other list. Am I going down the right path doing tarot, and will I win my inheritance case? Yes, specifically because it's helping you unpack things that you didn't realize needed to be unpacked in your own psyche. So as I'm doing a reading for this, I'm like, oh, I need to look into that, or I need to shift perspective on that. So it feels like it's healing in that sense. Will I win back my inheritance case? I feel like it's likely it's just going to take some time and patience. But whatever obstacle you're most worried about doesn't end up proving to be able to hold you back as much as you expected it to. So you're avoiding a worst case scenario, but there's a need for patience as well when it comes to the inheritance. Where did I go? Message from my great grandma B. Knocking on Heaven's Door by Guns N' Roses. There's a need to be patient with yourself through some kind of communication that's actually going to free you, even though it may be uncomfortable at first. So having the difficult conversation or having the uncomfortable conversation is actually going to be freeing for you. It feels like whatever this is was a long time coming. Unknown phone calls, voicemail with static noises. Oh, you letting out what you were previously repressing is going to be healing for you, even if it falls on deaf ears, or even if the person doesn't all the way understand you. Still allow yourself to speak it, because that's what allows you to move forward, enables you to move forward. Is a spirit playing tricks on me? It's kind of giving like throwing rocks and hiding my hand. How do I word that differently? Trying to make you overthink about things that aren't actually needing to be overthought about. So confusion or illusion type tricks, I guess you could say. Yeah. So it's like trying to make you wrapped up in your own mind so you miss something going on around you. My sweet cat Johnny is missing. Where can I find him? I feel like he's not passed away and no one has him. Three weeks would be what? 1, 2, 3. October 22nd. Where can I find him? I feel like he's just out. I don't know if driving around would help, because it feels kind of like I'm hidden, but no one has me. I feel like it's more of like luring him back. So I don't know if that's like leaving treats or something out or something to that effect. It feels like it's not something you're going to be able to drive down the street and stumble across him, unfortunately. But I also feel like he's not in anywhere. No one has him and nothing has harmed him. Setting the intention, setting certain things out. It feels like more drawing him back to you is the move, which I know is difficult, but alleyways, like somewhere that is kind of away from people. Confirmation on my husband's true colors. You saw the mask slip, and that is the true color. Almost like I was able to hide behind smoke and mirrors before, until something that I did not expect made my mask slip for a minute. And just in that split moment, it gave you enough to put a pattern recognition in place to realize how it had slipped before, but not enough for you to put the pieces together. But this time it did. Yeah, the mask falling off, a release of something. I feel like I need to give you a song. Hold on. Therapy Session by NF. Will the new judge in the Kohberger trial stop all the shenanigans, and will he get a fair trial? It feels to be a push for something to be made public. So I don't know if that's the information that's being held back, or I don't know if that's the trial itself. Like, you know how before it was like, okay, it may be pre-recorded and we'll show you after. It feels like, what's that word? Transparency. It feels like there's a major push for transparency. Will he get a fair trial? There's always going to be more to see that we're not seeing. I feel like on the outside it's going to look that way, but on the inside, it's going to be obvious that there's certain things that are missed or certain steps that are skipped or being avoided. Oh, there we go. Put the litter box on the front porch. Yeah, drawing him back to you. Let me go back to this list and finish these real quick. Was Brian Albert's brother Chris at 34 Fairview the night John O'Keefe was killed? Brian Albert's brother Chris. Kind of giving the energy of not at first, but after some kind of communication. Either I come by because of the communication, or I'm trying to communicate with someone and that ends up making me stop by. It doesn't feel like the whole time, but it feels like because of the factor of communication, there was a period of time where that person was there. What is the past trauma I need to unblock to accelerate my healing? Past trauma. Oh, that flipped. Mother wound came out in reverse. So that could be lack of nurturing wound. That could be abandonment wound. That could be not feeling worthy, which is causing guilt and shame. So it feels like the wound that was unaddressed was one where other people let you down or didn't show up for you, and that caused you to not all the way show up for yourself. So now there's a need to go back and look at the ways in which you did not show up for yourself in the past because of how other people affected you, and what way can you show up for yourself now to counterbalance that. When I hit your link, let me be a member. You have iPhone link chance. Comment this on another video, not the live, so I can send you the link, because I made a video of how to do it on the iPhone. For some reason, it's hard. You have to go into the browser of the iPhone instead of like the app on the iPhone. But if you comment this on another any other video, I'll look at it after and I'll send you the link to that video. Message from my husband or sister. Message from my husband or sister. Husband. You need to allow yourself to receive. Almost like if he were to say something directly to you, it would be, you need to recognize that sometimes you pouring out for others is because there's things that you're trying to avoid unpacking, and there's a need to allow yourself to be in receive mode so that you can receive the support you need so that you can keep pouring out for others. So think of it not as I'm receiving to receive, because it feels like that's hard for you. It feels like reframing it as, the more I'm allowing myself to receive, the more I can continue to show up for others. So reframe it in that way to kind of like not trick, but like trick yourself into being in receiving mode. I have no idea what that is. Number 40. Oh, a thumb thingy with sewing. Oh, a salt shaker. Salty, feeling slighted. Feeling slighted. You're not getting what you need because you're not allowing yourself to focus on you. It almost feels like there's a need to take a weekend staycation where you kind of lock yourself away from the rest of people or the rest of the world and focus on what do I need? How can I re-strategize my day to day so I can start to feel free from the burdens that I've taken on from others for so long. Brave by Sarah Bareilles. The blessed unrest. Staycation is like I'm resting, but I'm not resting. I'm re-strategizing. Why does this have to move me every time I go? Oh, my Stand Store thing it allows us to make like community pages now, so I'm gonna be doing that soon. That just reminded me. What family members are around me? Oh, what was that? There's a Queen of Cups that's never left you. Why do I want to say aunt? Aunt or great aunt? Could be a mother figure as well. It's like I'm not able to disconnect from you. Codependence. There's someone that's really around you. This Queen of Cups is very invested in what? Helping you release a burden. There's a Queen of Cups that feels responsible for being present with you to help you release a burden. My husband is getting a colonoscopy. Will they find cancer? I want to word this as they find something that's off and have to do further testing to see what the extent of the off thing is. So I don't know if it's developed into that or if it's just something else that needs some kind of treatment. King of Pentacles in reverse immediately made me think a claim to insurance. Like something is found that then you need to get like a pre-auth or something further that your insurance will need to approve to get the further testing. So I feel like there's something, but I'm not getting a clear answer if it's developed into that or if it's something that can be alleviated in a different way. But it feels like there is something that's going to pop up there. Why is JN so cranky and negative lately? Feels like they're dealing with something with their finances that they're not sure how to work through. And it feels like they've tried quick fixes or like they've tried fixes and they're just not working. But it also kind of feels like it may be a little bit of their own fault. Like I got myself in over my head and now I don't know what to do to not be in over my head. And I'm kind of making that everybody else's problem. Angel card. Oh, yeah, there we go. Zedekiel. Destiny, pride, conscious, and forgiveness. And the color purple. Can you see that? Zadkiel. Zedekiel. Any specific angels? Destiny, pride, conscious, forgiveness. Trying to help you see what you can bring into your conscious reality that you can use to manifest your purpose or to step into some kind of fulfillment. I'm going to stay on for about 5 more minutes and then I have to hop off because I'm hungry and my nose is clogged. Sorry if that's too much information, but is my father still alive? It's just upright. I feel like it's unlikely. Or it could be that he's like on his way out. Either there is no time left or there's not a lot of time left. It feels like there's something health-wise that was being dealt with there. Any suggestions for a mother-daughter tattoo? The Chariot makes me think of like, you know how you can get certain things that when you hold them up to one another, it like completes the whole picture. And Judgment makes me think of a cycle that the two of you closed out that was very uphill battle to get through. Almost like what disconnection connected you further. But I'm seeing like one of those, like if you hold up both things, it like connects, but almost like not unfinished, like it's whole on its own, but then it goes together, if that makes sense. I'm gonna pull one of these as like color inspiration or something. I don't know. That's the inspiration picture that I'm getting. This part feels significant up here. This circle, this like black hole part. The green TRC option. What's that? The different member months. I do not know how to do that. If maybe one of the mods knows. I don't know how that shows up on your end. If YouTube has unsubscribed you and you had to resubscribe, that may be it. That's the first thing that comes to mind, but I'm not really sure, unfortunately. Is what the Menendez brothers claim their father and mother did true? Oh. The devil we dealt with in private. Yes. The devil we dealt with in private was him, and it feels like she is the one that kind of covered for that. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Linda. Hit the money key to the right in your chat box below. It should pull up 3 options. The third one is the green milestone membership, 1 free per month. Thank you, Linda. Am I not meant to know? Read the NDA. Am I not meant to know? Read the NDA. High Priestess in reverse. That would be secrets kept. I'm not sure if I understand the question, but this would be secrets kept or things being hidden until the time is right. Mm-hmm. Did I just do the right thing? Yes, you specifically completed a cycle where in the past you might not have made the decision that you made this time around. Um, Almost like in the past, whatever decision you made, you wouldn't have viewed as an option, but this time you viewed it as the only option, and that was the completion of that cycle. That was the point of it. So yes. Oh. Sorry that I'm sniffling. Has Jay been intentionally casting and siphoning C? Manipulation. You're reading it correctly. Okay, so from J to C, I feel like you owe me, or I feel like there's debts unpaid, or I feel like I'm right to be doing this. I feel like you are deserving of the manipulation from J to C. Or maybe someone connected to C, like I'm punishing you for your connection to this person type of thing. Do you know who my spirit guides are? Do you feel a German Shepherd? Is there someone that the German Shepherd would be connected to specifically? Because it kind of feels like that. See how the snake is wrapped around this person here? Beep for confirmation. How do I say this to make it make sense? It feels like there's two main spirit guides, okay? And one of them has a connection to a German Shepherd or has a connection to that energy. So, like, the comfort brought to you by the German Shepherd is being articulated through the spirit guide, if that makes sense. So, the way in which the German Shepherd would communicate with you is the same code or like Morse code that the spirit guide is using, if that makes sense. I feel like you need a song with that. Hold on. Rise Up by Andra Day. Broken down and tired. Almost like if the German Shepherd knows your limits on being able to receive and decipher communication and is like the green light, red light for when to communicate certain things to you. Hopefully that makes sense. I love this. Thank you, Christine. This is a very supportive and caring community. Thank you to all my mods as well. Okay, I'm going to do about 5 more and then I need to go eat. Message from guides and health past life. Message from guides. It feels like there's something that is affecting mental health or emotional health that needs to be released. Almost like you need to give yourself the opportunity to let go of that burden before it has some kind of negative manifestation of that stress in terms of health. the amount of stress you're under may physically make you sick if you don't make a change to alleviate it, kind of thing. Yeah, taking some kind of action. It kind of feels like that is the connection to the past life. In the past life, there may have been health concerns that were accumulated because of stress being let to run too long. So not allowing that pattern to happen again in this life. Addressing things before they become a physical issue, manifest it from a spiritual or emotional issue. Banishment. Needing to show up for yourself and make a drastic change here is what it feels like. Revolution, yeah. Imprisonment. Needing to take action to free yourself from what will manifest as a physical issue if the stress is not under control. Some kind of action in the opposite direction of something that feels stagnant. Oh, I love that. Thank you, Linda Sue. Yes, I'll be doing a second one. What's today? Today's Tuesday. Probably Friday, because Gavin's off on Thursday. All right, I'm gonna do 2 more and then I have to hop off. Does Mikey, the one-legged chickadee I feed, know I'm trying to help him? Yes, it just feels like there's some distrust for humans in general. So like if I quickly move away from you, it's not you, it's just that everyone else has proven to be untrustworthy type of thing. But with 6 of Wands, I do feel like there's awareness that you're trying to help, but also I'm still scared of people type of thing. Will it take a divorce for my youngest son to have a relationship with me? Oh, that's the person in his ear. I would say yes, but it doesn't feel like he's right now in the energy of going that direction. It's an unhappy home, but I'm committed to rebalancing that out. Almost like I'm putting myself on the back burner to appease my partner. Trying to see if there's anyone I didn't get yet. A large mass was discovered on my brother's kidney yesterday. What will his outcome be? What will his outcome be? It's not the worst case scenario. However, there's something that needs to be taken action on immediately so it doesn't turn into the worst case scenario. Whatever it is, it's solvable or treatable, I guess I should say. A long-term relationship, but it was in reverse. A trunk and a suitcase, but in reverse. Letting something out on a kidney. Can kidneys be removed? Or something removed from the kidney? Oh, the large mass. It feels like there is something that's gonna need to happen that's a little bit invasive, but then there's an opportunity for healing after that. Annette, yes, I just don't know how long ago it was. How can I navigate both light and dark sides? Seeing the value in what the darkness has taught you, or what being in the dark has allowed you to utilize the light for. So it to me, this kind of feels like literally making a list. Like, what have I learned from X, Y, and Z darker experiences? And then you can start to see the pattern of how you learn from overcoming the darkness, or how you see the light from being in the darkness. Yeah, shadow work and self-sabotage patterns in reverse. Because in the past, you may have tried to avoid the darkness because you may have felt guilty for having that in your energy. So reframing that as, what did it teach me, or how did I grow from it? Okay, last one, and then I have to hop off. My husband so evil anymore. Any advice? It feels like you've offered every opportunity here for things to get better, and he's just not taking advantage of it. What is his wound? Almost like you continuing to hold the space of peace when all he's bringing is war is making him feel like it'll always be that way. So needing to kind of close off or pull back your energy to show him, yo, I've had enough. I've tried. I've given you the open door, and you just are using it to like throw things at me, hypothetically, instead of like walking through and allowing yourself to heal. Cynicism wounds. Very skeptical, negative belief in life, spiritual ego. I'm set in my ways and it's working for me, so I'm not changing anything. So if I'm not changing anything, you need to change something to force me to show up differently, type of thing, if that makes sense. Okay, I have to hop off. I will be back on probably Friday. I'm going to schedule it later. Thank you everyone for being here, and thank you to my mods. I did open spots this morning for readings. I'm not sure if there's any left. One second. There's not. So the next round of spots will open the beginning of November after I work through all of these. Thank you to everyone for being here. I'm going to try and have a true crime video up tomorrow, hopefully. If not tomorrow, then Thursday. Talk to you soon.